you can let this be simple tonight. If you're tired in a way that's hard to explain, you're not alone in that. If your mind is busy, nothing needs to be solved right now. Nothing needs to be understood. You don't have to make anything happen for this to help. And you don't have to be in the right mood for this. You don't have to be peaceful or positive or certain. Whatever you arrived with can come along without taking over the whole night. For this time together, you can do it the easiest way. You can listen lightly. You can drift of my words. If it helps, you can let my voice be something steady in the background, not something you have to focus on, just something gentle to keep you company while you soften little by little. Even if you don't feel calm yet, you're still doing this perfectly. Even if your attention wanders, you're still here with me. And if your thoughts keep looping, that doesn't mean you're failing. It just means you're human, and you've been carrying a lot of motion inside. Tonight, you get to loosen your grip, even a fraction. And if the idea of signs or meanings ever feels like pressure, you can set all of that down. Tonight is not a test. You are not being measured. All we're holding is one gentle thought. The number 333 can be a quiet reminder that support is near and steadiness is possible. And if you never notice it, that's completely fine. It doesn't take anything away. It can simply be a soft echo you remember sometimes, the way you remember you're allowed to be held by the moment. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to believe anything special. Just being here, listening, is enough. And right now, in this moment, you're safe. Safe to rest. Safe to be exactly as you are. Stay right here with me. Just in the moment you're in. You don't need to change anything to begin. If your eyes are open, they can soften. If they're closed, that's fine too. Let the place you're resting support you. Notice the simple weight of your body being held. You don't have to hold yourself up so much right now. And if your mind is still moving, that's allowed. Thoughts can keep doing what thoughts do. You don't have to chase them or finish them or push them away. For now, we can use one easy anchor. Your breath exactly as it is. As you can let it feel like receiving support, not something you have to earn, just something that arrives. And as you can let it feel like releasing a little weight, a soft unclenching, a quiet letting go. nothing dramatic. Even the smallest release counts. And if you don't feel much at all, that's okay. This can be subtle. It can be almost unnoticeable and still real. You're not trying to win your way into calm. You're just letting the next breath arrive and the next exhale leave. Notice where your body meets what's beneath you. The back of your head, the shoulders, the spine, the hips. Any place that makes contact can do a little more of the work of holding you. You can let the whole lower half of you be heavy, all at once, without checking every part. Just a simple settling, the easiest kind. And you can let the arms feel heavy too. The weight of each forearm. The hands resting with nothing they need to grasp. If it helps, you can feel the jaw loosening, the tongue resting, the space behind the eyes smoothing out. And you can let the brow be soft, not lifted, not working, just resting in its most natural shape. And receive and soften. And we can stay with that a little longer. Inhale, support arriving. Exhale, a little less to carry. If you notice you've been bracing somewhere, you don't have to fix it. Just notice it. And let your next exhale be a small permission for that area to ease. And if nothing wants to loosen yet, that's allowed too. You can let bracing be there without arguing with it. Sometimes the body softens more easily when it feels it does not have to. Now, just for a moment, you can bring attention down toward the feet, not forcing anything, just noticing the feet as they are. The ankles, the calves, the knees. Let them be heavy in the simplest way. If it's easier, you can let that whole sense of the legs blur into one gentle heaviness instead of naming it all. And the thighs, the hips, the way the lower body settles into support. As you receive, as you let the legs be a little less responsible. And now up through the middle of you. The belly can be soft, not held in, not managed. The chest can be easy too, not pushed open, just given room to move with the breath. Inhale, receiving support. Exhale, letting the chest and belly settle. And then the shoulders again. The upper arms. The elbows. The forearms. The hands. Let the fingers unclench or simply rest as they are. Let the palms be unbothered. Let the wrists be loose. If you notice any small effort in the hands, you can let it drain out into the surface beneath you without needing to change the shape of your fingers. And the neck can have less to do. The throat can be at ease. The back of the head can be heavy, supported. And receive and soften. And if you drift off into thought for a while, that's completely normal. When you realize it, you can return gently without judging yourself. Back to the simple fact of. And you never have to come back perfectly. You can come back halfway. You can come back softly. Even noticing you wandered is already the return. You might even notice the air itself. Maybe it feels a touch fresh as it comes in. Maybe mildly warm as it leaves. If you don't notice anything, that's fine too. Listening is enough. And if listening feels like too much sometimes, you can simply rest. My words can be nearby without you holding on to them. Let your shoulders drop a little if they want to. Let your hands be less busy. Let them rest in whatever way is simplest, even if they stay exactly the same. Inhale, receiving support. Exhale, releasing what you don't need to carry for the next few moments. And we'll do that again, the same simple way. Inhale, support. Exhale, a little more space inside you. No rush. No performance. Just one breath after another, doing what breath already knows how to do. And you can keep it this easy. No perfect focus required. No special state to reach. Just this breath, this weight, this moment holding you while you soften little by little. And now, still right here, still supported, we can let the sense of settling deepen without you having to do anything more. If it helps, you can imagine a soft warmth above you. Not bright, not dramatic. Just a gentle gold, touched with quiet white, like a comforting glow that knows exactly how to be kind. And if you can't picture it clearly, that is completely okay. You don't have to see anything at all for your body to relax. A simple sense of warmth is enough. As you let it feel like receiving support from that warmth. As you let it feel like releasing a little weight. We'll start at the crown of your head, just the very top. Imagine that soft gold and white warmth resting there, lightly. Not pressing, not asking anything of you. Inhale, support arriving. Exhale, and let the crown soften. Let that warmth spread over the scalp, easy and unhurried. Any tiny places that have been holding on can loosen by a degree, or not at all. Either way, you are still doing this perfectly. Receive, release. Now the forehead. Let the warmth move down as if it naturally belongs there. The forehead doesn't have to communicate anything right now. It can be smooth or simply neutral. Inhale, supported. Exhale, and let the forehead ease. Let it soften around the eyes. The space behind the eyes, especially. You don't have to keep watch. You don't have to keep track. Inhale, support arriving. Exhale, and let the eyes rest. And the cheeks. The bridge of the nose. The tiny muscles around the mouth. Let the warmth be gentle here, quietly reassuring. Inhale, receive. Exhale, and release the face. Now the jaw. If it wants to unclench, it can. If it stays clenched, that's allowed too. The warmth can meet you exactly where you are. Inhale, support. Exhale, and let the jaw be less responsible. Let the tongue rest. Let the teeth be slightly apart, if that's natural. Or let everything remain as it is, with no need to adjust. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, and let the jaw loosen, even a fraction. Now the neck and throat. Imagine the warm gold and white glow moving down the sides of the neck and through the front of the throat. Nothing to say, nothing to swallow down, just space. Inhale, supported. Exhale, and let the neck soften. The warmth moves into the shoulders, across the tops of them, around the shoulder blades, those places that often try to do so much. For now, they can do less. Inhale, support arriving. Exhale, and let the shoulders drop or simply feel heavier. And down the arms. The upper arms first, then the elbows, then the forearms. Let the warmth move steadily, like a slow, comforting stream of light you don't have to manage. Inhale, receive. Exhale and let the arms release. Now the hands, the palms, the backs of the hands, each finger. Nothing to hold, nothing to grip. Just hands being hands, allowed to rest. Let the warmth gather around the whole hand at once. A simple, even ease, flowing through the palms and fingers together, without you needing to sort any of it out. Inhale, supported. Exhale, and let the hands soften. And if you don't feel warmth anywhere, that's okay. You can simply let my words point your attention gently, and your body can respond in its own time. You are safe either way. Now the chest. Let the warmth spread across the center of you, calm and steady. The chest does not need to be open wide. It can be easy. It can be protected and still relaxed. Inhale, receiving support. Exhale and let the chest release. Notice the breath moving in, mildly warm, clean. Notice the breath moving out, taking a little tension with it. Inhale, support arriving. Exhale and let the ribcage settle. Now the belly. The warmth moves down, soft gold and quiet white, like comfort without words. The belly can be soft, not held in, not managed. Inhale, receive. Exhale and let the belly loosen. If there's emotion sitting here, it doesn't have to explain itself. It can be held by warmth and by breath without being solved. Inhale, supported. Exhale and let the middle of you soften. Now the hips and pelvis. Let the warmth move down into the bowl of the body, and let everything here feel more held, supported by what's beneath you, supported from within. Inhale, receiving support. Exhale and let the hips release. Now down through the thighs. The warmth travels slowly, evenly. Front of the thighs, back of the thighs, all of it welcome. You do not need to check each sensation. You can let it be one simple heaviness. Inhale, support arriving. Exhale and let the thighs soften. To the knees, then the calves, the shins, the ankles. The warmth continues, soft gold and white, unhurried and safe. receive. Exhale and let the legs release. And now the feet. The tops of the feet. The soles. The toes. Let the warmth settle there, like a final permission to stop trying. You can let the warmth hold the whole foot at once, without counting anything. Just feet resting. Inhale, supported. Exhale and let the feet soften. Now, for a few quiet breaths, sense your whole body at once. From crown to feet, held in a gentle gold and white warmth. If the imagery fades, it's fine. The feeling of being supported can remain anyway. Inhale and receive support. Exhale and let go, just a little more. You are safe. You are allowed to rest. And even if your mind drifts, your body can keep absorbing this softness in the background, quietly, naturally. Inhale, supported. Exhale, released. And we can stay right here in this simple warmth as long as you like. And we can let that simple warmth become the way in. Not by pushing, not by concentrating hard, just by allowing your attention to drift in the same direction as comfort. If thoughts are still moving, that's completely fine. You don't have to stop them. You can let them pass like distant traffic you don't need to follow. Hearing them, noticing them, and staying right here anyway. And if you don't picture anything clearly at all, you're still doing this perfectly. A faint sense is enough. Even just listening is enough. Now, in a moment, I'll count from 1 to 8. Just 8 gentle steps. No rushing. No test. Each number can be one simple cue and nothing more. Feel what's beneath you, holding your weight. And imagine, if it's easy, a steady support beside you. A simple railing, smooth and reliable. Your hand can rest there in your mind, or you can just sense that steadiness nearby. As you let it feel like receiving support. As you let it feel like releasing a little weight downward. 1. Feel the support under you. 2. A hand resting on the railing, or simply the sense of something steady beside you. 3. A soft inhale, mildly warm and clean, arriving on its own. 4. An easy exhale, letting the weight drop a little lower into what's holding you. If the mind wanders, it can wander. You don't have to call it back sharply. Just let the next number find you. Let the next breath happen. 5. Feel the support under you again, steady and unquestioning. 6. Your hand at the railing, or the simple idea of being guided without being pushed. 7. A gentle inhale, as if open air is nearby. 8. A long, uncomplicated exhale, and nothing you need to hold up anymore. And right here, after 8, you can feel the contact points again. The place your body meets what's supporting you. One soft inhale, receiving. One easy exhale, letting your shoulders and hands feel a little heavier. And now, without any sharp change, you can sense yourself arriving into open air. A calm, quiet kind of openness. Light that is diffuse, soft, and easy on the mind. And if this shift feels subtle, that's okay too. You don't have to feel a big difference for it to be real. You are welcome here exactly as you are. Nothing about you needs to be fixed before you can rest. And there is no way to do this imagery wrong. In front of you is a wide, clear lane. Meadow lane, with soft grass borders on either side. You don't have to build it in detail. Just the feeling of a path that welcomes you forward. And before you take even one step along it, you can let your jaw soften just a little, and let the belly be less braced. Inhale, receiving support from the open air. Exhale, and let the weight settle down into the lane. And as you come to the very beginning of the lane, you might notice the first step onto it. The ground under you still steady, still kind. Maybe the edge of that grass feels gently close, not brushing you, just there, soft at the borders. If you can only sense the idea of softness, that's enough. Maybe you notice a few wildflowers tucked into the grass edges. Maybe a distant tree line creates a gentle boundary far ahead, not closing you in, just outlining the space. And close by, near where the lane begins, there's a simple sign. nothing glowing, nothing demanding your attention. Just a plain, quiet marker with the number 333 on it. You don't have to believe anything about it. You don't have to remember it perfectly. It can simply be a soft reminder that support is present. And if you never notice it again, you are still supported just the same. Now let each step along the lane match your breathing pace. No need to go anywhere fast. No need to see far ahead. Sensing forward is enough. As you inhale, the air feels mildly warm and clean, entering easily. As you exhale, feel the weight ease downward into the steadiness beneath you. And you can let your attention include the soles of the feet in the simplest way. The quiet contact, the sense of being carried by the lane without you having to work for it. If it helps, you can let the scene stay a little blurred around the edges. Like you're not here to perform a picture. You're here to receive a feeling. And while you move at this quiet pace, you can let the jaw soften. Let the belly soften. Not forced, not perfect, just a little less braced. And as the breath and steps find their rhythm, you might let that quiet 333 sign be an optional thought in the background. Not something to look for, just a gentle association. Inhale, support arriving. Exhale, and the body remembering it can be held. If a thought appears, you don't have to take it with you. You can let it stand back on the lane behind you, like a passing thing that doesn't need to come along. Inhale, support arriving. Exhale, and let it fall away from your hands. And you can keep walking in the simplest way. A quiet sense of forward, held by the lane, held by the air, held by what's underneath you, without you having to manage any of it. And if at any point you'd rather stop imagining and only listen, you can. The support doesn't depend on the picture. It can be as simple as breath and the feeling of being safely carried from one moment to the next. And you can keep walking in the simplest way. Or, if your body prefers, you can let yourself pause right on the lane for a moment. Nothing changes about your safety either way. Feel the steadiness under you again. The way the ground does its quiet work, holding you without questions. Let your shoulders rest a little lower. Let your hands unclench even slightly. And take an inhale, letting it feel like support arriving. Then an exhale, letting it feel like a small release downward. No forcing, no doing it right. Just letting the breath be an easy companion. As you rest in this open, diffuse light, notice how uncomplicated this lane is. Soft grass borders, a distant tree line that gently outlines the space. No decision points, just a clear route that doesn't ask you to figure anything out. And now, only if it feels gentle enough, I'm going to invite you to name just one thing you've been carrying. Just one thing. Not your whole life. Not every unfinished thread. Just one thing. It could be a worry, a heaviness, a tight feeling you can't quite explain. It could even be something as simple as something feels like too much lately. And you don't need to solve it. No need to fix it. No need to understand it better tonight. Just one thing noticed. That's all. If nothing comes right away, that's completely okay. You can choose something very vague. A general sense of pressure. A little restlessness. Or you can simply choose the feeling of wanting rest. Just one thing. And as soon as you touch that one thing with your attention, let the next exhale be a release. Not releasing it forever. Just releasing your grip around it for this moment. Inhale and let it feel like support moves in around you. Exhale and let your jaw loosen again. Let the belly be less braced. No need to solve it. Just one thing. Now imagine in your hands a glass marble. Smooth, cool, or gently warm, however your mind offers it. A simple sphere that fits easily in the palms. And this marble is safe. steady, made to hold what you place inside it. Nothing fragile about the feeling of it. It's simply a clear, beautiful container. You don't have to picture it sharply. You can just sense the idea of something smooth in your hands. The weight of it, small and manageable. Now, without analyzing, without explaining, let that one concern, just one thing, be placed inside the marble. Not as a punishment, not to get rid of it, only to hold it safely for a while. Inhale, support arriving as you hold the marble. Exhale and feel how the concern is contained, so you don't have to contain it with your body. Just notice the difference between having a concern everywhere and having it held in one place. The marble in your palms, the lane beneath your feet, the open air around you. And if your mind starts telling a story about it, that's okay. You don't have to follow the story. You can let the story be a distant sound while you stay with what is simple. The simple lane, the diffuse light, your breathing, the feel of your hands. Inhale, receiving support. Exhale, releasing the need to figure it out. No need to solve it. Not tonight. And we'll do that again, gently. Just one thing resting in the marble. Inhale, support arriving around you, around your chest, around your throat. Exhale and let the muscles of the face smooth. Feel your shoulders soften. Feel your tongue resting in the mouth. Feel the weight of the arms, heavy in a kind way. Now again, just one thing. No need to solve it. No need to do anything with it. Let it be held. If the concern tries to expand, you can let the marble be the boundary. If the concern tries to pull you into planning, you can return to the palms. Smooth surface, quiet weight. Inhale and feel support, simple and present. Exhale and let the body understand it does not have to carry everything at once. just for this stretch of time, you can be the one who holds the marble, not the one who is inside it. The worry is something you can notice, not something you have to become. No need to solve it. Just one thing, held safely. And if you like, you can let your hands in your mind lower a little, as if the marble can rest closer to the center of your body. Not pressed, not tight, just held. Inhale and receive a little more support from the open air of this lane. Exhale and let a little more weight drop into the ground. You're allowed to be unfinished. You're allowed to rest while something remains unresolved. Just one thing. No need to solve it. And when you're ready, you can let the lane carry you forward again, with that marble held easily, as if it has its own calm center. Your only job is to breathe. And even that can happen on its own, without effort. If it helps, you can simply let the breathing be there while you rest. Inhale, support arriving. Exhale, releasing the effort to hold it all in your mind. And you can keep letting the lane carry you forward at whatever pace your body prefers. The marble is still easy in your hands, held, not gripped. Inhale and let it feel like support arrives without you asking for it. Exhale and let the need to manage everything loosen just a little. And if you notice your mind trying to check if you are doing this right, you can let that soften too. Nothing here is a test. Nothing here depends on effort. Just being here is enough. As the meadow opens around you, still wide and simple, you might begin to sense a meeting place nearby. Not far, just off the lane, in the same open field, under the same diffuse light. You do not have to picture it clearly. You can simply have the idea that there is a quiet, steady structure there. A place made for comfort. A place that asks nothing of you. If your imagination wants to give it a shape, Let it be the simplest shape. A small temple, stable, calm, or maybe it is more like a plain shelter with open air and a gentle threshold. However it appears for you is fine. It can be clear or faint, or only a feeling of a safe place waiting nearby. You cannot do this wrong. Let the next inhale feel like you are being quietly welcomed. And the next exhale like you are allowed to arrive without explaining yourself. You might notice the mild warmth in the air as you step a little closer. The same open light, the same calm meadow. Nothing suddenly changing. Just a place that has been here, steady, the whole time. And you can decide how you want to meet it. You can remain right at the edge, still on the lane, and simply know it is there. Or you can let yourself drift toward the threshold, slowly, without needing any courage to do it. Either way, you stay safe. Either way, you stay supported. Feel the ground under you again. The quiet weight of your body. Let your shoulders settle. Let the muscles around the eyes smooth. Let your breath move in its own natural rhythm. And if it feels right, you can imagine stepping into the temple now. Before you do, feel your feet, or the parts of you that are resting, supported by the ground. And notice one easy breath moving in, and one easy breath moving out. Not as a ceremony, not as something you have to do correctly. Just stepping into a protective calm. Inside, it is uncomplicated. There is space to stand, or sit, or simply pause. The air feels kind to your lungs. The light remains soft, as if it does not want to disturb you. And you can bring your marble with you, still held easily. The concern stays contained. You do not have to open it. You do not have to talk about what is inside. Let Let your hands lower a little if they want to. Let your arms be heavy in a restful way. Feel how your body recognizes a place where it can stop bracing. Now, in this quiet temple, you might begin to sense a presence with you. A guardian presence, benevolent, calm, not looming, not demanding, simply here. You do not have to see anything. You do not have to receive a message. You do not have to feel something dramatic. A simple sense of being accompanied is enough. And if you feel nothing at all, you are still doing perfectly. You are still welcome. You are still protected in this space. Let the inhale be receiving, as if support fills the room with you without words. And let the exhale be softening, as if your body can set down its vigilance piece by piece. Notice your jaw. You can let it loosen. Notice your throat. You can let it be unguarded for a moment. Notice the belly. You can let it be less held in. And the guardian presence remains steady, patient, kind, not here to evaluate you, not here to ask you to prove anything. If you like, you can imagine that this presence simply knows how hard you have tried in your own life. And that you do not need to try here. Not even a little. The temple holds the quiet. The meadow holds the temple. And you are held by the ground beneath you, and the air around you, and the steady companionship of this benevolent guard. Stay in the simplest part. Your breathing, the weight of your body, the marble in your hands, containing just one thing safely. And without any urgency, without needing to understand how it works. You can let yourself rest here for a few slow breaths. Receiving on the inhale, releasing on the exhale. Inhale, support arriving. Exhale, softening further. Nothing to figure out. Nothing to perform. Just this quiet temple in the meadow. And the feeling that you are not alone in it. And you can stay right here in this quiet temple in the meadow. Nothing changes suddenly. The light stays diffuse and gentle. The air stays mild. You are safe. You are supported. And nothing is being asked of you. If your mind reaches for a reason or a result, you can let that reaching rest. You do not need answers tonight. You do not need to understand anything for this to help. Let the ground beneath you keep doing its quiet work, holding your weight, receiving every part of you that wants to stop bracing. And that guardian presence remains with you. Not as a voice you must listen for, not as a shape you must see, just a steady, benevolent nearness. If it helps, you can sense it the way you sense warmth in a room, or the way you sense a calm boundary around you. Like the distant tree lying out in the meadow, quietly marking the edge of the world for now. You do not have to hold your attention tightly. You can drift in and out of my words. The support still reaches you. Inhale and let it feel like protection is already here. Exhale and let a little effort leave your body. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, releasing. And if there is any part of you that has been on watch, you can let that part know it does not have to work alone. It can rest trust without being irresponsible. It can soften without anything bad happening. Feel your shoulders and how they might be allowed to fall a fraction. Feel your hands and how they might be allowed to be less ready. Feel your chest and how it can rise and fall without forcing. And now, just for a moment, you can notice the marble again. That one concern held inside it, still contained, still safe. You do not have to open it. You do not have to solve it. You are only noticing what it feels like to hold it here, in a protected place. Maybe the marble feels a little cooler now, or a little warmer. Maybe it feels smoother in your palm because your grip is softer. Or maybe nothing feels different at all. That is completely fine. The success of this moment is not measured by sensation. Let the inhale be the feeling of steady support moving into you. Into the throat, into the chest, into the belly. Like warmth spreading slowly, without any effort. And let the exhale be the letting go of pressure. Pressure to fix. Pressure to be ready. Pressure to carry everything by yourself. The guardian presence does not need you to do anything to deserve it. It does not require belief. It does not require clarity. It is simply here, and it stays gentle. You can imagine the temple holding the air around you like a steady shelter. And beyond it, the meadow remains open and quiet. Soft grass at the edges. A distant tree line, calm and unmoving. Nothing is chasing you. Nothing is demanding decision. Everything you need to do can wait. Now we will keep it very simple. Receiving on the inhale, releasing on the exhale. Inhale and sense the steadiness beside you. Exhale and let your body remember it can be held. Inhale and let the room feel quietly protected. Exhale and allow your forehead and eyes to soften. Inhale and let your hands hold the marble with ease. Exhale and let the concern inside it become less sharp, less loud, less urgent. And if you notice the mind trying to take the marble back into thinking, you can let that be okay. No scolding, no fixing, just setting it down again into simple holding. Because the marble does not need to be worked on. It only needs to be safely contained while you rest. Let the guardian presence feel like a steady hand on the atmosphere of the room. Not touching you, just keeping the space calm. Keeping the edges gentle. And you can allow an integration now. Not as something you do, but as something that happens. As if the support you are receiving can settle into your body. Into the shoulders, into the jaw, into the belly. Like a steady warmth that knows where to go. You do not have to hold yourself together so tightly. You do not have to be the one who keeps everything safe. For now, you are allowed to be the one who is protected. And if emotion rises, or if nothing rises, both are welcome. You are still safe. You are still held. steadiness come a little closer inside your chest. Exhale and let the need to control loosen even a little. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, releasing. And the marble can be here too. Quiet in your hand. Not asking to be solved. Just held while you rest in this diffuse light. For a few more slow breaths, you can simply be in the experience of being supported. Not achieving it. Not proving it. Just receiving it. And when you are ready, without rushing, you can let the sense of protection remain as a quiet background, like the meadow itself. Wide, calm, steady enough to lean on. And you can stay with that steadiness, just as it is. Not something you have to hold up. Just something that is already holding you. Feel the support beneath your body again. The simple contact. The way the surface receives your weight without asking anything back. And if it has been hard to let yourself be supported lately, you do not have to force that trust. You can arrive slowly. Even a small willingness to rest is enough. And in this quiet temple in the meadow, everything remains calm. The light stays diffuse and gentle. The air stays mildly warm, clean, easy to breathe. If it feels right, we can let a small gratitude move through you now. Not a big feeling. Not something you have to generate. Just a quiet thank you. A thank you for the fact that you are here. A thank you for the part of you that kept going until you could finally rest. A thank you for any softening you noticed, even for a moment. maybe, too, a thank you for the parts of you that are still unsure. The parts that stay alert out of habit. The parts that do not quite know how to set things down yet. They are welcome here as well. And if gratitude does not come easily tonight, that is completely fine. You are not required to feel a certain way. Your resting is enough. If your mind is still busy, that is completely fine too. If you feel sleepy or not sleepy at all, that is fine. You are not behind. You are not doing this wrong. Inhale and let it feel like support is still arriving. Exhale and let a little more effort leave your shoulders. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, releasing. And you can let your jaw be a little less held. Let the tongue rest easily. Let the muscles around the eyes be less busy. Nothing to watch for right now. The guardian presence remains gentle and steady. Not demanding your attention. Not requiring any sign. Just a benevolent nearness you can sense in the background whenever you want to remember it. And if you cannot sense it clearly, that is also fine. The support does not get withdrawn when your mind drifts. You can simply rest in the idea of steadiness, and that is enough. And the steadiness you touched here can settle into your body in a simple way. Into the chest, into the belly, into the hands, like warmth that does not need to be explained. If you still sense that marble, you can let it remain safely contained. No opening, no fixing, just the feeling that it can be held You do not have to resolve anything tonight. It can stay simple, contained, quiet, and now, very gently, we can place one simple reminder into your everyday life. Not as a rule, not as something you must look for. If you ever happen to notice 333, you can let it be a soft nod back to this steadiness. A quiet moment where you remember support is still here. I am still allowed to soften. And it can be that simple. Not a message you have to decode. Not a signal you have to chase. Just a gentle reminder to let your shoulders drop, even a fraction. And just as important, support remains even if you never notice 333 at all. Even if you forget. Even if you doubt. Even if your mind is busy. The steadiness does not depend on a sign. And if 333 comes to mind on its own, you can let it mean, I am not alone with this. I can let life be unfigured out for a while. I can rest inside what is already holding me. Inhale and let the body receive that truth in the simplest way. Exhale and let the need to check or prove relax out of you. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, releasing. You are safe. You are supported. And nothing is being asked of you. And if you are still carrying anything at the edges of your mind, it can wait. It can stay outside the circle of this moment. For now, you only have to be here. Just stay here for another breath or two, letting the supportive feeling remain in the body. Quiet, steady, still with you. And if you drift, you drift. If you stay awake, you stay awake. Either way, you are doing enough. Either way, you are held. Inhale, support. Exhale, softness. And you can let that be the only thing for now. And you can let that be the only thing for now. Stillness can stay with you. The openness can stay with you. Nothing has to end sharply. For a little while longer, the meadow lane can remain in the background. Soft grass, calm air, diffuse light that never asks your eyes to work. And if the details are faint, that is completely fine. You do not have to hold an image in place. A sense of ease is enough. And at the same time, you can begin to feel your body again, resting where it is. The steady weight, the surface beneath you, doing all the holding. Notice the simple points of contact. Where you meet the mattress, where you are already supported without effort. We will take 8 slow steps back now. Not a pushing away, just a gentle return. And you do not have to do it perfectly. Listening is enough. And if your mind wanders in the middle, that is okay. You can come back on any breath. Nothing to get right. Inhale and let it feel like support is arriving. exhale and let release be allowed. 8. Feel the body's weight settling down. 9. Let the back of your head be heavy in the simplest way. 10. Let the neck be carried. 11. Inhale, support. Exhale, release. 7. Let your shoulders ease, even a fraction. 8. And let the shoulder blades lie flatter, without needing to adjust anything. 9. Just less holding. 10. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, releasing. 6. Notice the support beneath you, steady and patient. 7. Feel how the surface does not shift its care. 8. It keeps receiving you, moment after moment. 9. Inhale, support. Exhale, release. 10. Let the jaw be less held. 6. Let the tongue rest easily again. 7. Let the teeth be unclenched, with nothing to solve right now. 8. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, releasing. 4. Feel the weight again, the way you can sink without effort. 5. Let that sinking be allowed in the chest. 6. Not collapsing, just softening. 7. Making room for breath to be simple. 8. Inhale, support. Exhale, release. 9. Let one soft exhale smooth you out from the inside. 2. And as you exhale, you can feel the belly loosen a little. Like it no longer has to brace. 3. And if the number 333 ever crosses your mind, you can let it be this simple. On an exhale, a quiet reminder. Support is here. And even if you never notice it, support is still here. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, releasing. Two, let the muscles around the eyes be less busy. Let the forehead be smooth in its own time. Nothing to watch for. Nothing to anticipate. Inhale, support. Exhale, release. One, feel the surface beneath you, holding you completely. And notice the hands resting with nothing to hold. Fingers allowed to be loose. Wrists heavy and quiet. And now, just softly, allow the meadow lane to fade into a simple feeling of openness. No image to maintain. Just the leftover spaciousness in your chest and in your belly. You do not have to keep the meadow lane present. You do not have to remember it clearly. If it fades completely, that is perfect too. And return to the steady weight of the body resting into the mattress. The warmth of the room. The quiet contact points. Feel the way your legs can be heavy. The way your feet can be still. The way the whole lower body can be done for the night. Nothing is being asked of you. You do not need to bring anything back in your hands. The support you touched can stay as a feeling tucked into the breath. And you can let the feeling of company remain quietly. perfectly. Just the sense that you are not doing this alone. Inhale and let support come in the simplest way. Exhale and let release happen without effort. And even now, you do not have to try to relax. You can simply stop adding extra holding. That is enough. And if thoughts appear, that is okay. They can drift at the edges while you keep returning to weight and breath. If you notice 333 again someday, you can let it be a gentle echo of this. One easy exhale. One small remembering that you are supported. Inhale, support. Exhale, release. Shoulders unhooking. Jaw soft. Hands resting with nothing to hold. And you can keep letting the body be heavy. Let the breath be ordinary. Let the night do what it does without your help. And the openness is still here, just quieter now. Less like a place, more like a permission inside you. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, releasing. And if you drift, you drift. If you stay awake, you stay awake. Either way, you are safe here. Inhale, support. Exhale, release. And you can let this be slow. Unhurried. No sharp edges. And you can let this be slow. so slow that you do not have to keep up with it. Nothing is being asked of you now. Not even good relaxing. Not even steady attention. And if you notice yourself listening for what comes next, you can let that go too. There is no next thing you need to catch. Just this moment, doing less. If you, that is welcome. If you stay awake, that is also fine. Either way, you are still being held by the night. Let your breathing be exactly what it is. On an inhale, you can receive support in the simplest way. On an exhale, you can let release happen without effort. And there is nothing you need to change about the breath for it to help you. Even a small breath can be enough. Even a wandering breath can be enough. And you do not have to try to release. You can simply stop adding anything extra. That is enough. Feel the weight of your body where it meets the surface beneath you. The surface does all the work. You can let yourself be the easy part. And if it helps, you can notice one place where the body feels a little heavier. The hips, maybe, or the back of the ribs. Just one simple point being carried. Inhale and receive. Exhale and soften. If thoughts, they can. You do not have to follow them. relax them. They can be background noise while you rest. And you can let the mind be a little unsupervised. It does not have to behave perfectly for you to sleep. It can move around softly in the distance. And if you notice yourself trying, you can let that trying relax too. Even effort can be allowed to loosen. Inhale, support arriving. Exhale, nothing to hold. Let your shoulders continue to unhook. Not forcing them down. Just letting them be less involved. Let the jaw stay soft. Let the tongue rest where it wants to rest. Let the muscles around the eyes be quiet. And if you want one more place to soften, you can let the hands be a little heavier. Let the fingers be uninterested in holding on. Let the palms be done. And if you cannot feel any of that clearly, that is okay. You do not need strong sensations. A vague sense of settling is enough. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, releasing. You are allowed to stop monitoring the room. Allowed to stop monitoring the time. Allowed to stop monitoring yourself. And if a sound happens somewhere, it can just be a sound. Nothing you need to interpret. Nothing you need to respond to right now. You do not have to listen closely. You do not have to remember what I say. You do not have to repeat anything back. Just let my words be a soft presence in the background if you want them. And if they fade, let them fade. Inhale, support. Exhale, release. And somewhere underneath everything, that faint openness can remain. Like a mild warmth in the chest. Like space in the belly. And if you notice your heartbeat at all, you can let it be ordinary. Just a quiet signal that you are here. Nothing to check, nothing to measure. No picture to hold. No place to return to. Only the simplest feeling that you are safe enough to rest. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, letting go. And now, I am going to speak in slow waves. You do not have to take in every word. Let them land where they land. You are safe. You are supported. You are allowed to rest. And you can let the night be wide around you. Not as something you have to notice. Just as something that makes room for you to stop. Nothing is urgent right now. Nothing needs your attention in this moment. This moment can be simple. Inhale, support arriving. Exhale, softening. You do not have to be ready for sleep. You do not have to make sleep happen. You can just let yourself be here and let sleep come when it comes. Your body already knows the way. Your breath already knows the rhythm. Your mind can loosen its grip little by little. And you can be accompanied by this quiet without doing anything for it. You do not have to reach for comfort. You can let comfort reach you in its own gentle timing. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, releasing. If you notice a little bracing anywhere, you can let it unbrace. Not by pushing it away. Just by giving it permission to stop working. And if it does not stop, that is fine. You can rest anyway. You do not have to be perfectly calm to be allowed to sleep. Inhale, support. Exhale, nothing to prove. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not failing at rest. And you do not have to hold yourself together tonight. You can be in pieces of comfort. A little softness here. A little ease there. This is enough. The way you are right now is enough. Even if you are still thinking. Inhale, receiving. exhale, letting go. Let your hands stay easy. Fingers loose. Palms not responsible for anything. Let the legs be done. Heavy in their own natural way. No need to adjust. And if you want, you can let the breath move lower toward the belly. Not forcing it. Just letting the body choose what is easiest. Let the whole body be allowed to be imperfectly comfortable. Even that is enough for sleep. Inhale, support. Exhale, release. And if that is normal. If you catch my voice again, that is normal. If you do not, that is normal too. You are still safe. You are still held. You are still allowed to let go. And you can let yourself be cared for in a way that does not require your participation. No effort. No performance. No keeping track. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, loosening. Let the day be finished for now. Not solved. Just set down. Let the mind place everything on a shelf that can wait. No effort required. Just the idea of waiting until later Inhale, support. Exhale, setting down. You can rest without answers. You can sleep without closure. You can be cared for without doing anything to earn it. And if you ever notice 333 again, it can be only this. A soft reminder. I am supported. And even if you never notice it, even if it never crosses your mind, you are still supported. Still allowed. Still held in the same quiet way. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, releasing. Nothing to hold. Nothing to manage. Nothing to stay awake for. Just wait. Just breath. Just this quiet permission inside you. Inhale, support. Exhale, release.